What's going on? Welcome to another video. This is Sunny from personalmasteryquest.com, and in today's video I want to share with you a couple of ways to make reality transurfing way easier to practice in your life. So over the past weekend, I took a short trip to Washington, D.C. with a couple of my friends. And so I've been away from home for about 3 days. And during the trip, I learned some crucial lessons. I was in my self-reflective mode the entire trip. And I learned some crucial lessons that I want to share with you in this video. And I'm going to package them in the form of ways and practices that you can use to make reality transurfing way easier to implement into your life, okay? So let's get, I have a couple of ways written down. Let's get right into it. Number one, the one thing that I realized over this past trip, over the past couple of days, is that in order to really implement reality transurfing in a successful way in your life, you need at least 1 hour set aside every single day for self-reflection or silence. As you know, whenever you go on vacation or any sort of trip, you're always doing. You know, from the point that you wake up until the time that you go to sleep, you're just in a constant state of doing. So within the past 3 days, I realized, you know, when I didn't have time to do all my yoga, meditation, and self-reflection practices, that you will have way less control over your day, over your reality overall, if you are not spending that time in silence to really process all the information that you're taking in and to be able to be present enough to set those intentions. And actually, many people even live like this. I used to live like that as well, where as soon as I woke up, it was just a constant state of doing until I went to sleep. So you're always either answering text messages and emails, or you're talking to people, or you're doing a lot of work, and just within that activity, that active mode, you don't even like set any intentions. You are not present enough to even process the information that you're taking in properly. And in that mode, if you are living your entire life like that, you are not creating your own reality. You are actually just part of a game in which there's a script that is controlling your entire life. So you're not creating your own reality. Life is being created for you. So I say that if you really want to take reality transurfing seriously and to start gaining control of your life, you need at least 1 hour that you spend in silence, away from everybody, and just use that hour for self-reflection. I recommend even more than an hour. However, if you think even an hour is crazy for you, just like challenge yourself and get that hour in your day just for yourself. And I remember when I was just getting into self-betterment, I heard Tony Robbins say this one thing where he was like, if you don't have 10 minutes for your life, if you don't have half hour, if you don't have an hour for yourself, for your life, then do you even have a life, right? Like if you can't free up that much of your day for yourself, for your growth, for your ability to control your life, then is your life actually yours? And you can use the hour to meditate, which is really the act of not doing anything. Or you can, you know, just really just sit down and reflect, like what happened today? What do I think about what happened today? How does it feel? How does my body feel? What do I want to create in the future? What do I want to create later today? It's really all about just reflection. You can either spend it in silence completely, or you can just write to yourself, you can think to yourself, just analyze what has happened. And this will really help you get back into the driver's seat, to the control panel of your life, all right? Put this into practice starting today. Now let's move on to number 2, which is activate awareness in social situations. Now, this is a realization that I had over the weekend. However, I have kind of slowly realized this over the past couple of months, where now I've been really working on my self-awareness and being present, right? Well, I'm really good at that when I'm alone by myself, when I'm working by myself, or just day-to-day routine life. However, when I go out maybe on the weekends, or if I go on a trip like this for 3 days away and I'm not doing any work and not doing much, you know, self-reflection and meditation, I get caught up in the game. And by the game, I mean when you are not really setting those intentions, when you're not really aware of your thoughts, and very minimally aware of your actions. So again, this is a state that most people live like in today. They actually have the illusion that they are controlling their actions and their thoughts, whereas they're not. So it's very easy, especially when you're talking to other people, especially when you're talking to strangers, when you're in new situations, that you just get completely immersed within what is happening. You lose all awareness of yourself and situation, and you just, do whatever you end up doing. And this can work against you, because you can end up agreeing to something that you don't necessarily want to do. You can end up in a situation where you don't want to be in. So in order to avoid that, in order to be the controller of your life, the creator of your life, you need to activate awareness, not just when you're by yourself in your house. You also need to start doing it in social situations. So it's one of my new initiatives to really become more present when I'm interacting with other people, give them my full attention, know where my attention is at all times. When I'm out around a lot of people, always be aware of yourself, of your surroundings, what's going on, what your intentions are for that situation, because you can experience any situation in your life in a million variations. Now, if you're not present enough, you don't get to choose which one of those million trillion variations you get to experience. The choice will just be made for you. But when you're present enough and you activate that awareness in those social situations, now you can deliberately choose what you want to experience, how you want to experience that situation. So number 2 is very key. Activate awareness in social situations. Now, moving on to number 3, which is similar. It's be present and always be forward thinking. Deliberately create your intentions for every activity. Being present, let me break it down for you in the simplest way possible. To me, being present is just knowing where your attention is at any given moment. When you're not present, something else is controlling your attention right now. Maybe you're thinking about something that happened in the past. Maybe you're thinking about the advertisement you just saw. Maybe you're thinking about some friend that just hit you up or called you. But when you are present, it means that you are in control of your attention. And what do I mean by be forward thinking? Well, you as a human being, you were created as a forward thinking creature. And being forward thinking is what allows you to create what's coming next in the flow of life. Now, you might be thinking, if I'm forward thinking, if I'm thinking about the future, am I not being present? Well, no. Let me give you a little twist on what being present actually is. A lot of people think that being present is like being completely immersed in the present situation. However, being present just means to be in full control of your attention and to be able to deliberately think about the future, not just daydreaming, not just having your thoughts on autopilot. That's actually a form of unconsciousness. It's a form of sleep. But deliberately thinking about, okay, what do I want to create in the future? So being forward thinking is an act of presence. You need to be first present, in control of your attention, in order to deliberately think about what you want coming next, what you want to create. So be present everywhere you go. Train yourself to be present. Where is my attention right now? And if you don't know where it is, simply just try to bring your attention back to your body, to your thoughts. Okay, what was I just thinking? How do I feel? What are certain sensations that are going on in my body? Always bring your attention back to your attention. Focus your attention on your attention. You might think that this is very confusing, but this is a feeling that you will feel, and you will finally know what it means to be present. Practice it right now if you want to. Pause this video and bring your attention back to your attention. Put your attention on your attention and feel it. So you want to do this. You want to first bring it back to the present. You want to first become present and then think about, okay, I'm already experiencing what I'm experiencing. This has already been created. What do I want coming next? Be forward thinking. Set your intentions for not just the next year, not just the next month, but just today as well, tomorrow as well. Matter of fact, do it for every activity that is coming up. So after this video, let's just say I want to go to the store. Well, set your intention for what you want that trip to be. You want to get to the store safely. You want to have a delightful experience, you know? Intend for that to happen. Don't just take it for granted, all right? So be present, be forward thinking, set your intentions. Let's move on to number 4 now. Make decisions quickly and decisively. Reality transurfing is all about following your heart, your individual self, and making choices. Here's the thing about making decisions. If you aren't making decisions for your own self, for your life, for what you want to do, for what you want your future to look like, then someone else will make those decisions for you. You can look at any group, any situation. There will always be a group of people where there is one person who is the leader, one person who is always being looked up towards. And what makes that person a leader is that that person knows how to make decisions. He is decisive. He knows what he wants, he or she wants. So what you want to start doing is become that person, become the decision maker. Because what is unique about that person is that that person ends up getting what he wants or she wants, whereas the rest of the group ends up getting what he or she wants. People love to live in a state of limbo, in a state of having options. And because they have so many options nowadays, people don't want to commit to anything. They don't want to be decisive. Because there's this illusion that if you don't make a distinct decision, then you can somehow experience everything. Then somehow everything is open to you. However, if you don't make a decision for what you want, then nothing is really available to you. The only thing that is available to you is what the leader, the person who is actually willful, decisive, what he or she wants. And if you don't make decisions, someone else or some other influence will make decisions for you. And why do you want to make decisions quickly? You want to make them quickly because the more you think about the decisions that you're making, the more your mind gets involved in it and distorts your perception. Your heart always knows what it wants, okay? Your mind thinks and your heart knows. So when you are considering a subject, you want to just feel it out. Just perceive your feelings. Consult your feelings. If it feels good, make the decision. If it doesn't feel good, make the decision to not do it. But you don't want to start thinking about it again and again and overanalyzing it, because that just means that your mind is going to end up making a decision that might or might not be right for you. But your heart always knows what's right for you. So make decisions, be decisive, and do it quickly. And after you do it, commit to it, okay? Maybe it ends up being the wrong decision. Then you can, at that moment, if you feel that it's not correct for you, change it. But you want to make a decision. If you are not making a decision, one will be made for you. Now, moving on to the next one, which is never try to be like somebody else. This is something that I see, because I really like to observe a lot of people, and I also like to observe myself. And this is something that I see in a lot of people, and this is something I used to see in myself as well. Like if I reflect over to my past, is let's just say that you are very introverted and you come across another person who is very extroverted, and you see that person doing really well. Maybe they have an easier time making friends. Maybe they can make more money than you. Now, it is the mind's fault. It is the mind's weakness that the mind compares you to that other person and affirms to itself that, oh, that person is extroverted, that person has these qualities, that's why they're doing better in life than me. And then the mind tries to mimic that person. And it completely doesn't understand that that person is not successful because they have those qualities. They are successful because they are being themselves. And then the mind tries to copy them and mimic them. And it finds eventually that it just can't do it. First of all, it exerts so much energy trying to be like somebody else. And then it still doesn't find the success and happiness that it was looking for. That is because it ignores its own qualities. So let's just say you're introverted and you think extroverted people are more successful, and you being introverted is the reason that you don't have that success. Well, that's not true, because your introvertedness can get you some other type of success. What your mind has to do is stop comparing itself to other people and actually focus its attention on your own individual qualities and maximize and capitalize on those qualities. Your secret to success lies in your own individual qualities, not in mimicking somebody else's. And as long as you are mimicking other people's success, their other qualities, then you will always exert a lot of energy at a waste, and you won't get your intended result. Reality Transurfing, again, is all about being your individual self. If you have read the book, you know that as long as you keep chasing other people's goals, other people's life, then you will not be able to create your own reality. You only get to create what is true to yourself, what your heart truly wants. If there's no heart and mind connection in what you do, in what you try to create, then you will fail to create it. You'll just create something else. So always be yourself and do not try to be like anybody else. All right, let's move on. Next is talk less and observe more. This is a lesson I've actually been learning all my life, because I've been more on the quieter side. And it's worked to my advantage so far, and now even more. A lot of people who talk a lot, who have to say everything that is currently on their mind, are the people who have a very, very, very restless mind. And their mind is so turbulent that they actually don't even know their true intentions. They don't know their true self. And again, in those moments of, like when you're out in social situations, they lack the ability to create their own reality. Because their mind is so turbulent, they don't even know what they want. And the thoughts in your mind are just mostly BS. Truly. The mind is just being controlled by a script that isn't created by you. Like, think about it. How many of your thoughts do you actually create? There's so many times during the day when you might just catch yourself thinking about something that you didn't choose to think about. Those thoughts just happen to you. You didn't choose them. So most people who feel the need to express themselves too much, express those thoughts in their heads too much, are actually just solidifying their thoughts in physical reality. But those are the thoughts that they didn't even choose themselves. So the more you just constantly talk, first of all, you won't even be able to stop the constant flow of thoughts, right? So if you want to calm your mind down, then you need to start talking less as well. And second, if you want to really start controlling your reality, you have to start to control what comes out of your mouth. The words that you say are the first manifestations of your thoughts. So don't talk about just everything that goes on in your mind. Talk about only the things that you want happening. Talk about only productive conversations, things that will actually help you rather than limit you. So no limiting language, no arguing for your limitations, no saying that I'm a loser, I suck at this, all that stuff. It's not serving you. Don't talk about it. All right. Instead, let others do the talking. Let them express themselves. You be the silent observer. You observe your own thoughts. Add to the conversation in a delightful manner, but don't just always just blurt out what you have to say, and don't always be in that mode of talking. You will see how this will make you a much more calm and relaxed person, and that is actually a prerequisite to being able to deliberately be present and create your own reality. This will make reality transurfing much easier for you. Now, lastly is journal your thoughts. Set some time aside every single day to just journal down maybe some hardship that you're having or some intention that you want are trying to create. You can do this during the self-reflection hour from the first tip, but you want to start writing down your thoughts, not just on a phone, not on your computer. You want to start handwriting it. And you can look this up. There are studies to prove that when you handwrite something, it connects to you at a deeper level. And it helps you way more than typing it on your phone. And also it's way less distractions. When you go on your phone to write something in your notes maybe, there's gonna be a ton of notifications that are just gonna catch your attention, you're gonna lose it all. So set aside some time for journaling. Talk to yourself in your journal. Talk to source. Whatever you consider the creative spirit to be, you know, God, the universe, higher self, whatever you refer to that power as, talk to it. Ask it questions. Ask it to guide you. And really just have that conversation with source, with yourself. Show some gratitude for the things that you have. Share with the source or yourself what is coming up next, what you want to create. Really become very self-reflective in your journal. And this will help you to break down all of your problems and gain a perspective that you wouldn't otherwise have if you were just thinking about your problems or whatever your goals are. So lastly, journal your thoughts, okay? Now, all of these activities, these are the realizations that I had over the past weekend when I was away. Now, it's just a few of the things that I think make reality transurfing way easier to practice in your life. However, I know there's way more things that you can do to aid reality transurfing, and maybe I'll make a video about more things in the future. However, I know that in the book, Vadim Zeland mentions that reality transurfing, the whole process is whole by itself. You don't need to do a lot of meditations and all other stuff to make transurfing possible for you. I understand that. However, I also believe that what makes reality transurfing possible is conscious awareness. And if you aren't putting some disciplines into practice every single day, if you aren't, you know, setting aside that hour for self-reflection, if you aren't changing certain thought patterns and habits of yours, then conscious awareness becomes impossible. Then you're just living by a script that you didn't create, just that script in your mind. So I thought that these practices will actually have helped me in the past, and I know they will help you if you start implementing them. Okay, you don't need them. However, I advise it because they will make reality transurfing way easier. All right. This was just a completely unplanned, casual video I wanted to make today. I did shoot a video in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. That video will be coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have any questions about this video. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video and gained value from it, give me a thumbs up and share this video with a friend who would also find it helpful. If you would like to get coaching with me one-on-one, the link for that is in the description box below. But other than that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.